There's a new book on store shelves written by a man who knows some pretty interesting things about the people who live here and who have passed through. Author P.Moss joins us now to talk about his new book, Blue Vegas. Good morning, sir. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I need to preface all of this with, you are also the owner of the Double Down Saloon, a quaint little establishment where life goes by pretty quickly.
It can, yes.
It can, yes. It is. So given that build-up, I'd like to go through this book because it's a series of short stories about, you tell me, real people but possibly fictional names, names changed to protect the innocent, that type of thing, right?
Well, it's basically about raw human emotions that everybody feels. Mm-hmm. You know, love, hate, loss, greed. But they're told through characters and situations that are unique to Las Vegas, which can make a basic situation quite interesting.
Quite interesting. Well, I'm going to throw out a couple of the titles, and you can kind of briefly describe The Chinaman.
The Chinaman, that's one of the happier stories in the book. It's titled Blue Vegas because most of the stories are rooted in sadness somewhere. I think that most people, their lives are, sad one way or another. The Chinaman is a guy, he's very happy. He had a Chinese restaurant for 50 years and he made the best Chinese food ever anywhere. And the one thing that made him happy was every night he took a portion of the register, put it in a coffee can under the sink. And whenever it added up to $8,000, he went to play one hand of blackjack. Win or lose, he would go back and go into his routine. And that's what made him happy, and that's what made his life worth living. Even though he made life so wonderful for so many others, that's what it took to make him happy.
And that's one of those true stories.
Yes, it is. That is based on someone who actually did that.
Very interesting. Clam Daddy.
Yes. It's a story of a guy who got caught up in his vices and needed to go to the all-nude club to borrow money from his daughter who was working. And the tensions that came from that, and how he'd always been such a good father to her and always been there when she needed him, and now all of a sudden the tables had turned. Was she now the parent and he the child? And he really hit rock bottom with that.
Well, it's fascinating. We're just about out of time. You have a book signing this weekend, right?
Yes, at Borders on West Charleston near the 215 on Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m.
Okay, sounds great. P.Moss, the book is Blue Vegas. Fantastic read. Fantastic read. Very, very, very close to home for a lot of people, I'm sure, in this town. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Lisa?
All right, thanks, guys.